Gear up, Scooter fam. So, I'm going to do another video today. I did one earlier on the Emu Cruiser V2 dual motor. Um, I guess some people might have known about that already. If you already had a Cruiser V2, then you knew that this was coming. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was out. And I just found out today. Maybe some of you guys knew. I didn't know. I've been watching it pretty closely, and I have been waiting for the dual motor update to come out. And so anyway, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. So the idea of this video is to talk about my top five, my favorite lightweight scooters that can carry heavy riders. And so to be lightweight, you have to come in under 100 pounds. The scooter itself has to weigh less than 100 pounds, and it has to be able to carry a rider weight of at least 250 pounds. I know some people consider that to be a little different, but I consider if you can carry, I mean, these scooters, they carry like 265 pounds plus, and they could probably carry more than that. So I consider that to be a scooter for heavy riders. In any case, so that's the idea of today's this video today. All right. To get started, before I get started, I like to just go over a few things in the beginning of my videos now. It's become kind of a repeating theme. So I wanted to talk about my channel intro. I had a viewer recommend that I change my intro to something more relevant. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant. It said maybe videos of me, giving advice or something like that. But in any case, um, that video just to describe what my intro video is, in case you're just that was some random video that I found. Um, it's me on my Hover One Journey Max at the crosswalk, getting ready to cross. When I was first started doing videos, so it's one of my first. It came from some of my early video footage. And I just liked the idea of sitting at the crosswalk and reversing traffic. So in the video, I just reversed traffic, and I wanted to play a beat over that reverse traffic, kind of going forward. It's just an idea that I got when I was trying to come up with an intro video, and so I like it. I think it's pretty cool, but it was my very first idea. I did try another idea just to test it out, which was a pretty basic idea. I mean, I could try to do a bit more, but the basic idea was just to do a black screen and then have like kind of be electrified with the electric scooter guy, uh, and then at the end just use like a neon type situation for electric scooters. So it was there wasn't a lot to that, but it was kind of an idea generation. In any case, if you like the current video, let me know in the comments. If you have some more recommendations or suggestions for intro videos or something, I'm all open. But anyway, I just wanted to address that. Another topic before we get into the scooters is that my the way I speaking of the way I do my videos, my video style is kind of loose. And when I'm on here, I've experimented with a few different types of videos. Some where I just get on and kind of talk. That may seem like these. And then I did some kind of scripted videos where all the ums and ahs and so forth were completely eliminated because it was scripted. But it felt very scripted. It felt very robotic, and so forth. And so I just, I just got away from that. I really wanted it to feel more natural. And so now I use talking points. And so I reference talking points and then I talk, and then, so that way it's structured and I can go over what I want to go over for that day and make sure I don't miss anything that I wanted to talk about. I get my complete idea up front before I get on and shoot the video. But there's still a lot of me just talking. And so, there's a lot of and okay and so, but, and, and that's just me transitioning, right? So, I, I'm working on that. It happens a lot. So I had someone comment and say, could it's kind of hard to listen to, and I apologize. I really apologize. I'm gonna try to work on it. I try to edit it all out, but I say it so much that it's really not possible. I mean, honestly, the video just gets incredibly choppy. So especially I just say it like right in the middle of my, what I'm saying. I'm gonna, and it just comes out so many times. It's just, a habit, I guess. So I'm gonna work on it. But meanwhile, I mean, when I pause and say it, when it's pause, this, I try to edit out. So I'll try to be more diligent on that, and go from there. So that being said, I will get, I'll work on it. It's gonna be a process. I promise. If you and if you, I don't want it to keep me from doing my videos. I can't focus on it so much that it becomes, it hurts my video. So I will work on it subconsciously while I'm moving along, and then edit out what I can, what makes sense. Otherwise, hopefully the video will still flow kind of smoothly, but there'll be a lot of so, ands, and buts, and so forth. So apologies up front. Hopefully you can get past it. If you can, I apologize and I'm sorry. But I'll do the best I can. All right, moving on. We're going to go into the Apollo Phantom V4 as my first lightweight scooter for heavy riders. It's a great scooter. It's on sale right now for $18.99, which is the cheapest that I've seen it. Apollos are fairly reputable. Once again, every scooter has problems. No one's perfect, but they are one of the more reputable brands, and have somewhat of a history of making scooters. Just going to go over this scooter real quick. I think it's a great deal for $18.99. It's a 52 volt, 23.4 amp hour battery. It has dual disc and region brakes. Top speed is 40 miles an hour, and get about 40 miles of range at about 20 miles per hour, which is I say, probably average what I'd be going. So I would expect to get about 40 miles of range. It does say you can get 25 miles of range at 40 miles an hour. So if you want to top it out the whole time, you get about 25 miles of range. I'd probably get around 40. The IP rating is 54, which is not spectacular. It's the bottom. It's the bottom of the rankings. I don't, under that, and I don't think they rank them less than that. So, for what it is, you should be able, because it is ranked, you should be able to handle light rain and small puddles. That'd be about it. And for the, they do have dual 1200 watt motors, 10-inch tubeless tires. The max load on them is 300 pounds, so you can support up to 300 pounds on the Phantom V4, and it comes in only at 77 pounds itself, so it weighs 77 pounds but can support 300 pounds, which is a really great ratio. It does have a thumb throttle, and it is UL listed. Before moving on from Apollo, I did want to mention that for Black Friday, I noticed that the Apollo Go and the Apollo City dropped $50. I think that puts the Apollo Go at like $1,044, and the City at was it $1,519 or something like that. I think it was $1,549. Now it's like just over $1,500. So not bad. I like the Apollo Go right at $1,000. I think that's where it should be. I wouldn't pay more than $1,000 for Apollo Go. I'd like to see it maybe $899 or something, but that's probably not going to happen. But I like it at $1,000, and just over $1,000 is tempting for the Apollo Go. It's a good scooter for that price. But we're talking about the Apollo Phantom, and that's the one that made one of the top five my favorite lightweight scooters for heavy riders. Next up is the GoTrax GX3. I like this scooter for the price at $19.99. I think it's once again it's worth $19.99. It's worth $2,000. I don't think I'd pay more than that, and I kind of wish it was like maybe $100 or $200 cheaper. I think it would be a steal at like $17.99, and definitely a deal at $18.99. And now, like I said, it's worth $200. It's worth $2,000, but I don't believe it's just a crazy bargain at $2,000. So 52 volt, 25 amp hour battery, dual disc and regen brakes. Top speed is 38 miles an hour. Gets roughly 30 miles of range tested. IP54 rating, again, good for light rain and small puddles. And that'd be about it. 1000 watt dual motors. It does have 11-inch tires, but they're tubed, and I believe they have split rims for tire changes to be easier. It will support 300 pounds and comes in just under 100 pounds itself. It does have a trigger throttle, but I think you can adjust it to where you can use it with your thumb on the other side, if I believe that's correct. But it is a basic trigger throttle, from what I can see. And it is UL listed. The GoTrax are UL listed as well. Next up is the Solar P1 Pro. I don't talk about the Solars all that often. They don't make my list too many times. I like the P1 Pro. I think it offers a good value for what it is, to be honest. And it does. They do charge you $50 for the to switch to a thumb throttle, but that's fine with me, and so I'm good with that. So let's go over the specs for the Solar P1 Pro. So the Solar P1 Pro is $19.99 if you don't get the thumb throttle. If you do get the thumb throttle, it's $50 extra. Right now for Black Friday, there is a 12% difference, and which brings it under $1,800 with the 12% off Black Friday deal. It has a 60 volt, 26 amp hour battery, net hydraulic brakes, top speed of 50 miles per hour, and gets 36 miles of range. The water rate, the IP rating is also 54 like the other scooters. It does have dual 2000 watt motors, 11-inch tubeless tires, will support 330 pounds, and comes in just under 100 pounds weight itself. As I said, you can get a thumb throttle for $50, but it does not have a UL listing. We have probably the best deal on the list here. Something I've been watching for a long time just because of the value. It's just a really great value, I believe. It's the Wolf Warrior X from Cabo, and right now it's $14.99 and $13.99 when you use Cabo 100. I'll put the link, code above. And it's a 60 volt, 21 amp hour system. It's got dual hydraulic brakes along with regen braking. It goes top speed of 46 miles per hour and gets roughly 33 miles of range at that speed. The IP rating is one of the better ones on this list at an IPX5. It has dual 1100 watt motors, 10-inch tubed tires with a split rim, and then can support up to 265 pounds. It does come in at around 80 pounds for the weight itself. And then you can get a trigger throttle, but it also comes with a free thumb/paddle style throttle. But this one I could not find a UL listing on. And now for the last on the list, I want to talk about a scooter I've already done a video on, the eMove Cruiser V2 dual motor. This is really an interesting scooter to me, to be perfectly honest. I've been waiting on the V2 dual motor to see what it was about. I like that they've bumped it up to 60 volts. It's really got my attention, so I'm going to add it into the list. And just in case you missed my video earlier on the eMove Cruiser V2, I'll go ahead and go over the specs real quick for you. So the V2 is a 60 volt, 30 amp hour battery that has Zoom hydraulic brakes as opposed to hybrid brakes. It goes 44 miles of top speed and has a stated range of about 60 miles, more likely between 30-40 miles if you ride around in those top speeds. The water rating is IPX6, which is really high water rating. You have a 1000 watt motor, 2000 total, 10-inch tubeless tires. Yeah, it will carry up to over 350 pounds. And although the single motor version is 80 pounds, around 80 pounds, I don't have an exact weight for the dual motor version, but I'm hoping it still comes in under 100 pounds with the larger battery and the extra motor, hopefully only adding about maybe 10 pounds or so. So I'm hoping it still is a sub a 100-pound scooter, which is why it made this list, because a single motor is, and I don't have an exact spec on the weight for the new one. It does have a thumb throttle. It does use a thumb throttle. It does not have a UL listing that I could find. And it starts shipping for the dual model in January, late January, early February. So just so you know that. All right, those are my 5 favorite lightweight scooters for heavy riders at this point. And so my final thoughts. I really like, the Phantom. The Phantom and at its price right now is really good, and for what it is, I mean the other Apollo, the new Phantoms won't be under 100 pounds. 77 pounds for the Phantom V4 before it disappears, I think is a pretty good buy. But yeah, the new Phantoms are going to be just over 100 pounds. So once this one goes, there won't be another sub 100 pound Phantom, most likely. The GX3, I like it, but I really wish it were. I mean, you can get a Phantom $100 cheaper than you can a GX3, so that's almost a no-brainer. The P1 Pro, that's a scooter that's kind of creeping up in my list a little bit more and more and more. The Solar in general, P1 Pro is a pretty good value, to be honest. It's a 60-volt system. It goes pretty fast. The water rating's not spectacular, but I like it a lot. And then the Emu Cruiser is creeping up again. That's like I said, I'm really happy about the dual motors. The Wolf Warrior is such a great deal right now. $1,400 out the door, pretty much, for the Wolf Warrior, and it's IPX5. I mean, it's got tube tires, which is one of the things I'm not really keen on. Only because I have a tubeless tire setup now, so Wolf Warrior, I believe, has the split rims, but once again, you're me, I'd be carrying around a spare tube, and then I have another kit. I don't want to have a bunch of kits, so if I get another scooter personally, I would rather it be a tubeless tire, and I'm starting to lean more towards tubeless tires in general, just because of the ease of patching, plugging a tire and getting back on the road pretty quickly, which is not so easy with a tube. I am leaning more towards the tubeless tires in general. The Apollo now has tubeless. They have 10-inch tubeless. The G-Trax has 11-inch tubeless, and the Solar P1 Pro has a tubeless, and they're 12% off as well. So under $1,800 for the P1 Pro. Yeah. Just if I'm throwing it out there right now, on the spot, if I had to pick one of these scooters that I wanted to go with, kind of liking the P1 Pro. To be honest. It's not UL listed, but Solar's a well-known company, so I'm okay with that. It has 12% off right now, making that a pretty good deal. Top speed is good, plenty of miles of range for me. IP54 is okay, but for the deal, it's really tempting. 2,000 watt dual motors is crazy. I really like the 11-inch tires. If I had it, just right now, if I'm put on the spot, I think I would choose the P1 Pro over all these at the moment. I just like in general, I like all the specs and everything it's got for it. Guys, if you enjoyed this content, you find it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and happy riding.